And welcome to Hazardous Endeavors.
Woo!
Yes, indeed. Welcome to the Digital and Dice 5th edition actual play podcast, brought to you by these fine folks over here.
So
I'm not a bear.
Not anymore.
Not today.
That's true. Today you are not a bear. To which, you know, for those of you in the audience hoping to see soft bear, the hopening.
The hopening. Hope is the first step on the road to disappointment.
If you came here hoping to see soft bear, we're very sorry. Unfortunately, you are instead left with Voiceover Brian.
Who is not as soft.
I'm pretty soft.
You're not that soft. You're not soft bear soft.
Will you ever be soft bear soft?
I mean, I suppose we can find some sort of full body conditioner sort of stuff.
Or is it just fluff out your hair? And,
At how many thousand, 100,000 views?
Right. Yeah. How many thousand views is it going to take, or how many thousand subs is it going to take for us to put Brian in a full fursuit while doing Hazardous Endeavors?
Sweaty.
Yes, this will be our, I guess, combination third and fourth episode. We're still kind of getting everything working here. You might notice the mics are a little bit different than they were last time, but
so close.
that is totally okay because hopefully this is going to provide you
I could croon into this.
with a better audio quality than what we were outputting before. Let us know in the comments if there's any issues, but yeah, I think we're going to make it work.
Yeah, we're going to do this.
I'm just going to roll with the punches.
Yep. For those of you who are here for the live show, we are still also figuring out how we're going to be splitting said episodes and how we're releasing them on the Wednesdays. But I believe the way we're going to end up doing it is if you are here after the intermission, we will re-intro. There won't be this little kind of chat bit. We will just re-intro and go right into the game so that it makes more sense when you are listening, if you wish to then listen to said episodes every other Wednesday or every Wednesday, because that's how we're releasing them. Either way, I think it'll work. Let us know if you think it's actually working. Otherwise, we'll just fly by the seat of our pants, light everything on fire, and run.
I love it when people say hello in the chat, by the way, because I'm always like,
Hello. Is it me you're looking for?
okay,
No.
Dante, if people say hello in the chat, I will just wave. Because it doesn't even matter where we're at. I'll just be like, it's going to happen.
Can you actually read the chat? That's fine.
Chat?
Yeah, I know. I have these swanky glasses now. See, like, this is my before and after face, so I can actually see the chat from here.
And then Brian pulls up something without muting his phone.
It was the chat.
The little bit of news real quick before we jump into things.
But is it the Twitter chat?
That up there is Twitch chat.
Okay, so sorry, YouTubers. I'm only going to wave to the Twitch chatters.
That's okay. That is Desurian, who, just for anyone who's there in the Twitch chat, that is the wonderful commission artist who made all of the awesome digitized logo, the icons below each of our players.
You're so eloquent.
Dude, don't even start with me. It's been a week.
I actually just bought myself on Redbubble.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Sweet. Oh, that'll be cool. And of course, if anyone is interested, yes, all of those icons are available on t-shirts, mugs, various things like that up on the Redbubble store. You can get to digitalanddice.com, click storefront. It'll bring you right over there and you can see all the cool designs we have. And those are listed under Hazardous Endeavors.
Redbubble.com/people/digital and dice.
There you go.
Wow.
Thank you, Stephen.
Yeah.
Wow.
I have an interesting memory for URLs sometimes.
Oh, we
That
are
makes sense.
expecting super weird side news. We are gonna do a new line that's specifically Hazardous Endeavors theme.
Yep.
That's all gonna be 70s retro style t-shirts.
Yeah. So just so that we can kind of capitalize on that awesome thing and throw out some really cool designs, because if there's anything that Lady Crass does, it is do amazing graphic design.
Agreed.
Don't
Yeah.
listen to him.
So definitely keep an eye out for those. We got some really cool stuff happening. And as we mentioned at the beginning of the last live show, we aren't really going to be responding to the chat while we're playing the game. We will keep an eye on it here and there. So, we're aware of what's going on, but to maintain the story and everything, we're going to wait until the intermission between halves before we actually respond in any way.
How is our chat moderator feeling?
I believe we should have a chat moderator out there, theoretically.
Yeah, pain meds may interfere with that, but
That's fair. Well, hopefully everything works out there. We're just going to kind of ignore it and move on. So why don't we go ahead and get started then, shall we?
Well, if we must.
All right.
We must.
As we start, at some point I'll do a thing where there'll be like an intro music right here, and then I'll lump in.
Oh.
You think that'll actually, or like a little intro video?
Should we pause?
We need someone to animate us for our intro. So on a 1 and a 2 and a... Welcome to Hazardous Endeavors.
Hi, everybody.
Yes, where we last left our intrepid adventurers. You had been traveling. You had been making your way to the town of Silverhill, where you are supposed to be meeting up with one of your party who had taken a bit of a detour and explained that they'll make their way there and they'll meet you there. Wilf, you had taken a bit of a side trip off, and you felt a pull that you couldn't quite explain. It's something that you don't think would have really made a lot of sense to anybody else if you had tried to give them the lowdown of why you needed to go somewhere.
All right.
And the pull seemed to kind of draw you towards... Well, at first you thought it was bringing you towards Blightwatch, but as you started making your way down that direction, you started pulling you off into the wilderness a bit, and you weren't really sure. All you knew was that something needed you to be out there.
Sure, yeah. Sometimes you just get the wibbly wobblies and you need to go to a place.
Right.
Makes sense.
Making your way out there into the woods, over and under a lot of old, broken, and what seems to be like ancient ruins of some kind. Things that you've seen pieces of here and there, but nothing of the sort that you're used to. A lot of the ancient things back from the War of Ascension. And after you make your way through several hours of trek into the woods, you come across what's left of a building. At first, you thought it was just piles of moss and ivy, but you start seeing masonry and stonework around you. And laying down in the middle of this kind of clearing where at one point this building stood, you see an ancient and rusted sword planted down into the ground. And surrounding it, what looked to be a small gathering of feathers, white, pristine feathers that are just kind of dancing slightly in the breeze that's making its way through the trees.
Is it possible those are the ones that Elliot coughed up?
Different woods.
Oh, sorry. I'm not there.
This doesn't seem auspicious even in the least. This is just normal. This is how people get odd, decrepit swords, right?
Well?
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I take a look up and try to examine the sword, see if it marks any thoughts in, the whole arcano-histo-religione-ness.
It is caked with rust, and it looks like it's been here for quite a long time. As you are investigating it without, trying to yank it out, you note that the only identifiable piece of information you see on it is a slight indent in the shape of a sun. And that's it.
Okay, I guess, sure, why not? I'm gonna try to take this sword out. I mean, it's not like it's cursed or anything, obviously.
Cursed.
You grab the sword, and as you do so, you get this feeling welling up from inside you. You feel this light, and it's this warmth that grows from kind of the pit of your stomach up through your chest, and
syphilis.
Everything around you seems to flash brightly, almost like you stood up too fast. Like you get lightheaded, everything kind of goes white for a moment.
Ooh.
And as you pull the sword, it seems to... Well, as you're holding it, while it was in the ground, it was a fairly large sword, probably close to the size of a greatsword.
Oh,
and
yes. Totally practical for me to wield.
When your vision clears, you're holding a short sword.
Oh.
And it seems to have changed a lot. It doesn't have that patina of rust on it. The handguard itself has the rays of the sun spraying out over the way, and then the final one coming up into the long kind of a golden point at the end.
This is really cool. I should listen to Wibbly Wobblies more often.
The clearing you're in seems to dim slightly, as if this was giving off some of the light that made this feel like a comfortable and safe place to be.
And now I've got the sneaky feeling that this area has suddenly become vastly more dangerous, and monsters will now be able to attack villages nearby. I mean, I'm going to keep it still, but... I like it.
I have so many things to say, but I'm still not there.
Aside from that, the pull that drew you there seems to lull and then fade away. You feel like this was why you were brought here, and you look down to where the feathers were slightly kind of playing in the breeze. At this point, they have just dissipated and gone, and all you're left with is what looks like a scorch mark on the ground. And the view, as you step back and look, seems to be in the shape of possibly a humanoid body. At some point somewhere, this was the final resting place of, more than likely, whoever wielded that weapon.
Ooh, well, let's hope that that's not foreshadowing on how I'm going to end up. Which I'm going to choose it shall not be. Obviously, I'm not going to end up dead in a scorch mark. It's going to be dead in a much more violent, probably a little bit messier. But yeah, this is, I'm gonna...
Seems exceptionally well balanced.
Ooh.
Like it was made for your hand.
Well then, I should get going to meet up with them. See if I can catch a ride or anything going up that way.
Absolutely. You make your way back and start the journey up to Silver Hill, which is where we meet up with our other Intrepid Adventurers. Where did we last leave you?
I was stabbed by a tree. Stabbed by a tree.
Yeah.
That's because you listen to it.
You know,
You
if it
never
didn't
listen
sound so
to
sweet,
it.
it wouldn't have been a problem. So meh.
So your problem is sweets.
So
Got it.
what you're saying is that it was really rooting for you.
Is that the joke? Wait,
Yeah.
hold on. Oh, great. You're here. You know what? I totally missed the fact that you were obnoxious.
I'll bet. Yes. Well, I mean,
I didn't miss it.
aside from Lindo's sudden bout of dendrophilia, how was the trip, guys?
We'll just go ahead and say that as you guys had spent a little extra time making your way up there with the caravan, Wilf was able to catch up as you are all preparing to make your way to the last leg of your journey into Silver Hill itself.
So, Anders and Tillman, eh?
You know what? I'm not sure, but I have this feeling in my heart, you know? That Anders and Tillman and
You have a feeling about what?
Oh, no, it's all right. It's all right, dude. Absolutely.
You guys just seem like really excellent partners.
Yeah, we're partners, right? Anders looks over, raises an eyebrow. Oh, well, we're always together.
And see, and that is what I love about you guys. Always together, being excellent partners.
We're partners. It's fine.
Of course you are.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's fine. Nobody's judging you. Jeez, don't back off.
Well,
I'm lost.
well,
Anybody trying to follow Lindo is lost.
We just got to Silvertown, right?
Silver Hill.
Silvertown Hill. Hilltown, Silver Hill.
Hill. What?
Yeah.
What?
So you know where you are. You're not lost anymore.
Okay, then. Tillman turns and walks off back towards the front of the caravan.
No, but seriously. Serious.
And this is what I have to deal with all the time.
Anders just kind of reaches out a fist. Bump. And the town of Silver Hill is arrayed before you as you make your way further into the foothills of the Anvil Peaks. Ahead of you, you're looking at a decently large hill. It seems to go much higher than the ones around it. The trail you're on switches back and forth up the side of the hill that you're coming up. And above you, you see that the crown of this hill has been completely walled in. You're able to see different guard towers every 100 or so feet around on the walls. And at this point, you see the shadows of people moving about, watching and keeping an eye out. It looks far more militaristic than you were expecting. The last place you've seen that was to this extent was Blightwatch itself. Although the area around here has not been, corrupted or razed, you do see that a large swath of the surrounding woods and trees have been cut down so that they have a good view of anything trying to approach, specifically from the mountains themselves, which at this point are looming up to the northeast.
A sensible location.
So I forget, is it like orcs or giants or something that they're guarding against, or like has relations with the dwarves really gone that far underhill?
Orcs and giants and goblins.
Okay.
The Green Tide.
Oh, yeah.
They came from up there. The dwarves live under the ground. They live above.
That seems logical. I mean, dwarves come from underground, yes? I mean, they're made there, right? They're little tiny rock people.
Well, I mean, when one rock loves another rock very, very much, they make a dwarf.
Elemental.
Oh.
Right.
Right.
Oh, it describes it in your Manville Hammer book.
In exquisite detail.
I haven't quite gotten all the words, but I am working on it. So soon enough, I will read the whole thing.
Please don't. Please don't.
So
I'm pretty sure this one's a sound, though, slurp. I think it is slurp.
The gates to the town open up as you're making your way in, being recognized by those on the wall. You hear them shouting, and the calls go out to unbar the doors and open them, leading you into a several tiered town. The area you come into is what looks to be mostly trade district. There are the sounds of industry. You hear metal workers, you hear people going about their daily business, bakers selling their wares, everything you would expect to hear in most towns. People are just going about their day to day. The walls around you are about 40 feet tall, which means that the exterior of the walls stretches down almost 70 before it gets to standable ground.
So if this was built for protection, like the tiered system was built for protection, does that not make these tiers for fears?
I don't get it.
So you do see that further in, there's another level to the town, and the buildings there seem to be of a different caliber, a little bit more residential. You see multiple story buildings that seem to be crammed together, where instead of spreading out to a wider living areas, you have people living in somewhat narrower 2 to 3 story buildings, and people are going about their business there. And you're actually able to see this because the large set of stairs that are ahead of you making their way up to the next tier of the town. And these stairs seem to go almost all the way up to the entrance of a keep that is at the far end of the town, towards the northeastern end. And the keep is above everything, looks to be built into the walls of that area, which as the tiers of town go up, so do the walls, to the point where you're looking at nearly 100-foot walls surrounding the keep on that side.
Quite the elaborate setup they've got here.
You know what is nice about this place? That there is no undead. Last time we were at a place like this, it was covered in undead.
I mean, that's pretty accurate, yes.
I am very much pleased at the fact that there is no skeletons or things gooping up my shoes or zombies trying to eat up my neck. You know, it's just nice.
Yeah,
It's a nice place.
But Lindo, there's a skeleton inside you.
Right now?
Like right now, there is a skeleton inside you.
Mr. Wilf,
That's ridiculous.
I suggest you be quiet.
Oh.
I am made of blood.
Wisdom save.
Duh.
Oh dear.
Nope.
Wisdom save for the Wilf?
Oh, is that a verbal component?
Yes.
I believe so.
Advantage. Bardy,
yeah.
bardy, bard.
Use that bard advantage. The bard vantage, if you will.
That would be really nice because it's a 14.
Doesn't make it.
So you find yourself really compelled to not speak for a few moments.
That's messed up.
And as you're coming to this realization and it's kind of dawning on you that this is, well, far more annoying than you think it should be, you note that the people around you, the population of dwarves is far higher than you're used to further into Dariel. And the amount of armed individuals is also higher. The people going about their day throughout the town, instead of just maybe having a small knife on their side for utility or eating, you note that there are a good portion of the people here openly carrying battle axes, long swords, various weapons. You see a crossbow slung across several people's back, but they're going about their day as if it was just another day at market. No one seems to be in a hurry. They're not upset. They're not afraid. They are just doing what they do.
I look to be prepped in the off chance of an attack. Good.
Yes. Well, if the green tide does come back, they'll need to be ready.
How long does your spell last?
Oh, I don't.
Like a round or so, isn't it?
It's not very long. No. It's a level 1.
Very, very shortly after the casting, after Elliot gets a sly smirk and wanders ahead of Wilf, you find yourself.
What the hell?
Obviously not quite as vocal as soft.
Oh, no.
Oh,
8 hours.
for which spell?
Suggestion.
Oh, may I?
It's a 2nd level spell.
What? No. You can be
I
kind
see.
enough to let it go off.
I do let it be kind enough to let it go often. But yeah, it lasts for 8 hours.
And actually, I realized I made a 15, not a 14, because I don't know
That
how
would
to
have been
minus.
tie.
Oh, yeah.
You would have been fine.
There we go.
There we go. Either way, you're fine. After the joke has worn off.
Aha, I see what you did there.
So the caravan that
8
you're
hours.
escorting makes their way in and starts to go over to where the stables are. Tillman and Anders, at this point, now that you're in town, have basically stopped and are just stretching and looking around. They see you taking it all in, and Tillman saunters over with Anders in tow. So, you gonna be in town long?
I know.
Okay.
A little while.
I mean,
As long as we need to be.
I mean, what do we need? We need to get that thing, and we need to go to the magic place, yes?
We have one thing we need to do before we go there, Mr. Lindo. We talked about this literally a week ago.
You know what? I have been stabbed since then.
We need to go and do some research on the Dawn Guard to see if we can find any more information on them, as well as maybe some more pieces of gear.
oh yeah, we've got to actually try to see if we can research up where the next piece of
I
the
have
Armor
a
of the Dawn is.
feeling I know where that is,
In my pocket.
but I would like to see if this particular... No.
What's in your pocket, Lindo?
Oh, so many things. So many things reside in my pocket. So many that I can use the word resign right now and never again.
All right. You know?
Right. We're going to make sure everything gets taken care of over here, and then we're going to hit the bar. So, if you need anything, we'll be...
Are you guys going to be getting a room while you are in town?
Yes.
Are you guys going to share that room?
I mean, it's cheaper.
No.
Okay, just wondering.
It's more cost effective.
No, you're correct. It is very cost effective.
Yeah. Well, the hawk and dove over there will be there. So
Right. Thanks.
best of luck. We'll see ya. And Tillman wanders off. Anders stays for a moment, watches him go, turns, raises an eyebrow. Follows him.
So, where in this town do we actually research on the Dawn Guard?
I would suggest the church.
Makes the most sense.
A church, anywhere they
I'm going
people
to
talk.
Lindo.
Eh.
Why don't we split up for a bit? I think I'm gonna go see if I can talk to the town guard. Jaxom, do you mind going and checking to see the church and seeing if we can find information there?
No, of course not. Of course not.
I will try to see if I can't find something with the. I guess the town records might actually have something. Maybe.
That would be helpful too.
Okay.
Time to go bug the bureaucrats.
Wait, who am I talking to again?
Just follow me.
Okay.
All right. So you're splitting up?
Yes.
All right. First off, you two, where are you headed?
Essentially, where they keep town records and stuff like that. Probably going to end up being the church.
Okay.
Yep.
So the two of you guys are heading to the church, and two of you are headed where?
We're gonna go talk to the military bases here, or the military base here, to see if they might know where if they since they've been patrolling the area, they might know where old ruins from the time of Ascension, the War of Ascension, may be.
Okay. So let's start off. Actually, I'll start with you two then. Lindo and Elliot.
Okay.
So you two go to find where the local, basically the local military is. And it's very easy to find. The guards are like, oh yeah, head up to the keep. And that would be where Marshal Donovan and...
I wonder if the pretty elf man will be there.
More than likely. He runs the military here.
the guard thinks about it for a moment and says, I believe Marshal Donovan is on patrol. He may not be back for several days. But if there's someone you need to talk to, it would be there.
All right. We'll head up there now.
How am I supposed to pass judgment if I cannot see his face?
So, making your way up to the keep, you find yourself stopped at each tier as
Hello?
guards just they see you come in, they hold up, they ask where you're coming from, who you are.
Hi, I'm Elliot Frostmoon,
Where do you go?
and this is Lindo Espina.
The beautiful Thorn, the whole thing. Lindo Espina, the beautiful Thorn.
We are of the New Dawn Guard.
There's some muttering and talking amongst a couple of the guards off to the side. And you pull out...
Yes, that is my staff.
Okay.
And I had the pretty picture on my tabard. It's of a sun.
Let's see. Let's see. Yeah. One of the guards looks at it and his eyes just so wide. He's, like makes the kind of the symbol of the sun on his chest. And well, yes, of course. We've heard that the New Dawn Guard appeared in Kellenhall, and they rescued the town from the evil undead. Yes, of course.
Was that us? We did that, right?
Yes, we did.
We did that, yes.
Well, yeah, come with me. I will clear the way for you. This
I feel fancy.
somewhat of a younger human male. Doesn't seem startings of a beard, but doesn't seem to really be in his later years yet.
That badgy look.
Yeah. Starts leading you guys up towards the keep itself. Upon getting there, and every time that you are basically like about to be challenged, he's like, no, it's okay. This is the Dawn Guard, and they're like, oh, okay, yes.
I do gun fingers in their general directions. Yeah.
Right. And you guys are led pretty much right up to the keep, and as you get to the doors, he turns and says, what is it that you needed? What can we do?
We are looking for information.
Okay, about what?
We have heard rumor that there is an old Dawn Guard base around here. We're looking for that to see what we can find out about them.
Oh, I don't necessarily know if there's going to be much information. You see, Silver Hill was burned down during the war. It merely was rebuilt into a town over the next 10 years or so after that. Records from prior to that were mostly lost.
Well, what I'm actually looking for is I didn't expect them to be records of, thousands of years ago. I was thinking that
Anri Lathan for something like that.
Of course. But I was wondering, since you guys do patrols around here, you might have seen ruins from a long time ago, perhaps 1,000 years?
Quite possibly. If you would like, I can bring you to perhaps the Hall of Records.
That would be useful. Thank you.
A whole hall of them?
Yes. Well, it is a modest library, but it is what we have.
No, a
Mr. Lindo.
library.
Mr. Lindo, there was a reason why I brought you.
What do they always go to the libraries?
Lindo,
Eh?
I want you to talk to the guards to see if you could whatever information you can find out. You seem to be good at talking to them.
I'm good. Oh, I suppose. Hello.
The one guard who's with you just like, hello.
Talking, seducing,
You end up making your way back down the steps from the keep now that he knows what you're looking for, which is where you actually head towards the church, where, of course, the two of you have made your way. Upon making your way to the gates of the church, which is on the second level, so you are stopped. But when the people see you, they look at your outfits. There's a brief conversation, and one of them turns and says, were you looking for your friend? They went up there.
No, we're going to the church.
Oh, right over there. And
Oh, yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Big old church there. Yeah.
yeah, you can't miss it. See, the spire's right there.
We see it.
Good.
Thank you.
Let us know if you get lost.
Won't happen, but okay.
How would they?
So, just completely straight face, trying to be helpful. And as you make your way over,
That one's a try hard. Try so hard.
Palo shine upon you.
you as well.
He's gonna need it.
Try hard.
You make your way over to the church, which is a decently sized stone building, nowhere near the large cathedral in Kellenhall, but fairly big for a town on the border, and fully defendable too. You note that the walls are thick stone. There are arrow slits, and lower down are the arrow slits, and upper are the still very beautiful, but also somewhat smaller than normal stained glass windows, depicting various saints and such.
I like the defensive buttresses there. That's very tactically baroque.
Right. So
What?
tactically baroque. I really enjoy that. I'm gonna make a note of that.
Tactically baroque, yes.
So as you enter the church, the doors are open, and you see various parishioners stopping and saying their prayers and heads down in prayer. You note that towards the end is a rather sturdily built dwarf who is lighting some candles at the altar at the other end. And he turns and sees you enter, but doesn't seem to stop what he's doing yet. He's just in the middle of what he's up to.
I guess, do we politely wait for him to finish his little candle lighting thing, or is that going to take a bit? I don't know. This is your shindig.
Yes, this is. He seems to be almost done. Let's wait for him.
Okay.
Right.
So you kind of stand off to the side, or you take a seat on some of the pews.
Take a seat on the pew.
Pew pew.
All right.
Bow head reverently in prayer, etc., etc.
Sort of sit there, start, cleaning a nail with the shiny new sword.
Okay. Jaxom,
Yeah.
you look over and you see Wilf, who has pulled out a short sword sized for him that the handle seems to be wrapped in just absolutely gorgeous hand-tooled leather with just the faintest bit of runic writing that you can just barely make out. The crossguard and the blade itself seem to be incorporated into the same spiked ray of sun design. And he's there kind of cleaning his nails with it. And as you look at it, you look up and you see a depiction of this stained glass depiction over the altar of Pelor granting his benediction in the order in the rays of sunlight coming down from their outstretched arm, and surrounding them you see the defenders of the hearth light. You see these angels flying about, and one of them you see brandishing aloft a sword that looks like the blinding rays of sunlight. And then you look back and he's cleaning his nails.
Wilf,
Yeah.
where did you get that?
Oh, from the Wibbly Wobblies.
May I?
I mean, the Wibbly Wobblies told me to get it.
May I?
I guess. It's a little short for you.
Yes, but I don't think you've noticed what I have. Look. As I...
Oh, yeah.
Do you notice? Yeah.
I noticed quite acutely.
Yeah, you look up and there's a depiction of one of the defenders, the angelic forms of Pelor's servants, and one of them is brandishing aloft a sword that looks decidedly like yours.
The one that I'm holding just right above it.
Yeah.
I mean,
No. There we go.
there was a pile of feathers, but I mean, that was probably just a goose that ran into something. Obviously.
And as you're holding the sword up and looking at that, you note the somewhat sudden appearance of the dwarf. Now that you get a better look at him, you see bald on top, hair kind of growing in along the sides, back in a braid going down the back of his robes, wearing the somewhat standard kind of white and yellow and gold trimmed robes. Although you note that he does have the kind of clank as he's moving, as if he's wearing probably some sort of armor underneath. And there's a warhammer hanging from his hip, pretty much out in the open. He also is missing an eye with a fairly large scar running down all the way, pretty much passed into his beard as far as you can see it.
That's decidedly sinister.
And he's looking at you, and he looks at the sword, and then he turns and follows your gaze up to the window.
Afternoon, Padre.
Greetings, Father.
Hello. You mind telling me where you got that?
Oh, yeah. So I listened to the Wibbly Wobblies, and I found myself in some really ancient-looking ruins. Not from around here, so I can't quite place the era. But there was a pile of goose feathers and this sword, and when I picked it up, it got smaller, so I'm assuming that it's mine now.
Well, that makes sense then. All right.
By the way, hello. We're with the New Dawn Guard.
I see. Just a moment while I think of whether I know that means. New Dawn Guard. I've heard rumors, but yes, I suppose that also makes sense. That follows well. You're wielding an angelic blade, and you're wearing the outfits of those who defended against those who would usurp and command and conquer.
An angelic blade, you say? Oh, who would lead me to that?
See, that's all you need for verification nowadays. It's like, I'm sorry, I have obviously a tunic that has a pattern on it, and you're waving a sword, which could be from anybody. We don't really know. We're just going to assume. And that's good enough for me. You are obviously legit.
That's all right. Whenever I think too hard about the sword, I hear some sort of booming laughter far off in the distance. That, yes. So I'm assuming that I'm supposed to have this. It's a safe.
It's like a
assumption.
mockery.
I mean, if anything, the fact that I've been rolling ridiculously high for their knowledge, religion checks, and history checks means that, yeah, that's kind of how it's working right here.
Yep.
All right.
The rumors have been flying. You guys saved Kellenhall from an attack of undead. So, yeah. And about as he's about to say something else, you hear from the doorway footfalls and, well, people who can't be anything but loud.
Da 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 da. My name is Lindo, and I'm in a church. Da 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 da.
Lindo,
What?
a little respect, please.
The last time I was in a church, it was full of people crying, so I think I'm okay.
Lindo, we've been in other churches before after that one.
There were churches?
Yeah.
The Abbey?
What's
Last
an abbey?
time we were in a church, you got a nudie book.
That was a church?
I mean, sort of like church/retreat vacation home.
I changed my mind. I love churches. And I have all the respect in the world for them.
This would,
Do you have any nudie books? The last church I apparently went to gave me this lovely one that I have here in my bag. Here, hold on.
No, let's leave that
we don't
alone.
we don't necessarily deal with that sort of text here.
Ah.
If you're, are you here looking for books?
Yes.
We are looking for information on a Dawnguard stronghold from the past.
Not looking for books.
The Dawnguard?
Dawnguard.
Well, yes, the Dawn Gourd.
Like a
It's
sun, but like gourd shaped.
it's a special
Glowing.
melon that the chosen of Palor put upon their head. And then they are immune to the predations of the followers of Bane.
They cut out little like triangle eyes and triangle
squeal.
mouths in celebration of the day that Paylor was a friend.
You dare to look upon his butternut majesty?
Oh, hail the flash gods!
Screw you all! So, right, yeah, if you're here looking for information, I think we might be able to work something out. The records hall here is what's left of what we lost in the fire. If you're looking for information on holds of the old Dawn Guard, well, might be a little difficult, as you're standing on some of the most hotly contested land that
Is that because your city burned down? Because it was hot.
No, Lindo,
I
they
see
burnt
what you
the
did
city
there.
down
I didn't do
because
anything.
it was. Pardon our Lindo. He's definitely got a good heart.
I see.
He doesn't know when to not speak.
Well, I don't think many of us can
I don't know what that
say.
is supposed to mean. Is that insulting?
No,
Yes.
no, you're good.
You insulted me.
The old ruins have been trampled, have been used as, barracks, have been used as camping spots, they've been torn down to be used as defenses. There's nothing left of ruins outside these walls that hasn't been moved, destroyed, burned down, and then moved again.
I see.
The orcs themselves have used chunks of ruins from around these areas to build some of their strongholds further up in the mountains.
Is there anywhere particular that you know that the orcs have been particularly pernicious about trying to scavenge the ruins of just lately?
I'd like to say yeah, but the people we send outside of these walls are usually out there trying to kill anything they can find. Fact-finding missions aren't very common.
That seems incredibly stupid.
At least I'm not involved in it. Marshal Donovan will have any information you need, but
When is he supposed to be back anyways?
A couple of days, Lindo. We got that information already.
I was hoping
leaves.
for a better answer.
He leaves town sometimes for a week, 2 weeks at a time with his contingents. And
Thanks, I hate that.
sometimes they come back with good news and sometimes they don't. But can't tell you when he'll be back, but yeah.
All right.
But yeah, okay.
But yeah.
But yeah, that's what I said.
Thank you.
Do you mind
think
if
I'm
we
gonna
look
go-
through the records?
You're welcome to it. You're as well as anyone have the rights to.
I can read,
Can you now?
can't I?
Just a little tiny bit.
That is
good.
more than I did a little while ago. So
It's true.
I can help with record finding.
All right. I'll lead you back,
Aha!
Thank you.
of course.
Much appreciated.
So, as he makes his way over to the set of doors that lead back into some of the back halls of the church, this is where we will leave us for this episode. We will be coming back after the break for those of you here for our live show, and we'll be back next episode for those of you catching us on the RSS. So, until we come back,
Game on, internets!